So I need to clear up something I talked about in last week's video when I was talking about the WWE, and I said that they said they were the third most subscribed channel on YouTube, and I was like, that's not, I don't see how that's possible. I've gone and I've looked, and they're not the third most subscribed channel on YouTube. And I actually misheard it. What they said was they're the third most viewed channel on YouTube. And that is actually 100% true. The first most viewed channel is T-Series. I'm looking over at a chart that has things on it. The first most is T-Series, which is a like video, music, just all around entertainment channel that is in India, and it's like the biggest internet thing in India. It's actually the highest, most subscribed channel currently on YouTube. It has over 100 million subscribers, and yeah, a lot of Bollywood stuff and all that, and that has the most views. And then there's SET India, which I'm assuming is kind of the same thing but not as popular. And then third is in fact the WWE. So and they all have upwards above 30 billion views overall on their channels. So yeah, WWE is the third most viewed YouTube channel. That is 100% true. Anyway, so I guess that's like a retraction or something, a clarification, giving them their due. I don't know. Roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So it is day 2 of VidCon 2019. So what? That's July 12th, I believe. The first panel I want to go to is in about 20 minutes, maybe a little less. So I gotta get going. So let's hope I make it. So in classic Sean at VidCon fashion, that was the only time that I recorded myself during the entire day that I was at VidCon. Actually, I didn't record a lot overall on the second day of VidCon, and that's partly due to the fact that I didn't really do a lot on the second day of VidCon. So do you want to talk about VidCon and what is he? His buddies right here. Let's see. There he is. So that's, if you see him popping up, that's what's going on down there. He's right there. Just as a heads up. So the first panel I wanted to go to was a Q&A with Safiya Nygaard and her production partner slash manservant slash fiance slash, I guess just like everything. Her everything, I guess. Tyler Williams. So my friend Kalissa introduced me to Safiya Nygaard's channel. She sent me a link to one of her videos. I cannot remember which video it was. At least I think she did. It was either that or YouTube recommended one of her videos, and she had a video where she had bought on Amazon. You can buy like these crates that are full of returned items for like $1,000. It's a big thing that bigger YouTubers do a lot of the times. It's like, buy this crate of returned items from Amazon that you buy it for like $1,000, and the stuff in it could be worth more than $1,000. It's kind of like buying a storage unit, or Storage Wars, kind of like that, but through Amazon. I know that was recommended a lot, and I may have clicked on that, but then I know at some point my friend did in fact send me a link to one of her videos and be like, here, watch this. And actually, I do know that Safiya Nygaard actually did do a video where she did do the Storage Wars type thing, where she bought out a storage unit that had been abandoned. What is going on? What are we doing? Whatever. What did you need to sniff? There's a lot of action going on. He was just trying to get me to feed him. That was what that was all about. So now he's eating. So he's not gonna be here anymore. Sorry. Anyway, how do I describe Sophia Nygaard's channel? She actually does a lot of stuff that when you hear it, you would think, why is a almost 40-year-old male watching these videos? These don't seem to be the types of things that a 40-year-old male would normally be interested in. Like, she'll buy ridiculous fashion items and wear them for a week and try them out for a week. Like, one of her videos, she bought these super high-priced platform Crocs and wore them for a week. And once she bought these, again, super ridiculously expensive thigh-high Ugg boots. And another time she bought these jeans that had, in the thigh section, there were holes in the thigh section, and then the holes were filled with see-through plastic. And that was weird. You know, the kind of ridiculous stuff you would see on runways in fashion shows, but like actually for sale. And then also another thing that she has done is she has gone to like a makeup store and bought all of the lipsticks that they have, all of the, literally, not like all the lipsticks they have in stock, but like every color of lipstick that they have in stock, and then she has melted them all together and made like a super lipstick just to see what the color is that it came out as. And she also did that with Bath and Body Works candles. She bought every Bath and Body Works candle that is available, and she took a scoop of every single one and put it all together and melted it all together into one candle to see what the smell was. And yeah, so of course all that stuff, it's like, why would you watch this? This doesn't seem like it's for you. And it's because the way that she presents these videos, the way that she does these videos, it's really fascinating. Like, yeah, I don't necessarily care about makeup, but it's almost scientific watching her mixing all of these different lipsticks together and seeing like what the shades that come out of it and stuff. It's really interesting and, like I said, almost scientific in nature. So they came out, they did their Q&A. The thing with Q&As now at VidCon is, rather than having people line up in front of a microphone like most places do, they will have a hashtag up on the screen, and then you just tweet at that hashtag, and then they'll go to their phone and they'll check for that hashtag, and then they'll just read the questions straight from Twitter, so that you don't have to deal with the awkward audience Q&A. Somebody finished his dinner already, so if you see anything pop up again, it's him. Don't get distracted by it. So they actually had a booth at VidCon where they were selling some merchandise, and they said that after the Q&A they would be there like about an hour after their Q&A ended. So go ahead and go over to the booth and line up, and you can meet them. And one of the things that I love most about VidCon is meeting people, which I rarely get to do as much these days because of being on the creator track. You don't get to meet as many people because, as I've said, I think I said in the last video, if you're in the community track, you are guaranteed usually 3 meet and greets, and in the creator track, the only real guarantee potentially is the creator chat, and you only get one of those. So I was like, what the hell, I'll go wait in line and meet Sophia and Tyler. That'd be cool. So I went and I got in the line, and as you can see from this video here, this goes straight to their booth, and then if you look over to the left, that's actually the rest of the line. So where I was, it went back, and then they cut it off, and then they lined up the rest against the wall to the left there. So that was a lot of people. So I think I was in line for an hour before they started actually meeting people, and then after they started, it took me about an hour to get to the front to actually meet them, and then they were still there 2 hours later meeting people when I last looked over, and I think that's about when they ended. They were literally there meeting people for like 3 hours, and that was like an unsanctioned meet and greet, because they also did the normal meet and greet where you do the meet and greet lottery and all that as well. That they had that as well, so they met and gret a lot of people. So when I got up to them, I was like, I'm probably the oldest person in this line that doesn't have a child, but I really enjoy your videos. I think they're really great and informative. And then I told them about my friend Calissa and how she had introduced me to their videos. And I was like, would you mind recording a thank you video for introducing me to your videos? And they were like, oh, sure, absolutely. So here is how that turned out. Hey, I have some people here that want to thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Calissa.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you
sharing
for sharing
us.
our videos.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm so creepy all of a
Stop
sudden.
always does this. So
little
the
shoulder
camera comes,
action.
just walking in. Yeah.
I just start advancing
It's like
slowly.
a peacock thing or something,
yeah, I don't
right?
know.
Yeah. It's like that bird thing.
It's a mating dance.
Yes.
I think in that video you can actually see why her videos are so entertaining, because she has such a bizarro, weird, quirky personality. And that's essentially, like, when she's doing all these things, that's the personality that kind of comes forward. So I thought this was kind of like a perfect example of why her videos are so entertaining. Okay, now we're walking across. Is that what's going on? Now you're Ow. Ow. As he was getting down, he was like, okay, I'm gonna stable myself with my hind leg. And he stabled it directly into my hand and used his back claw to stable himself as he was getting down. So that hurt a lot. Look at you can that's coming in nice. So they were selling a shirt in their booth that was a take on the Three Wolf Moon shirt. If you don't know what the Three Wolf Moon shirt is, it's a shirt that became really popular on the internet like 10 years ago, like kind of as a joke. Here's what it looks like. It was just like, it was sold at Walmart or something. I don't know exactly where it was sold, but it's just this shirt that has a picture of the moon and then three wolves on it, and it just became like an ironic favorite shirt on the internet. So they had a version of it that had their cat on it, Krusty, and here's what it looked like. And I ended up getting it because their cat looks exactly like my cat. So I was like, I gotta get this because it looks exactly like my cat. So yeah, even though he does this to me, I should probably clean this wound really quickly. That's better. You always gotta have the Neosporin ready when you have a cat around the house. So next up was a panel, well actually it was more like a stage show, if you will, for Game Theory Live, and that had actually started by the time I got over to it. It had been going for like 10 minutes because of how long it took to meet Sophia and Tyler, so I didn't really catch the beginning of it necessarily. But so Game Theory is a channel where they talk all about video games and like secret theories about it and about them, and they use lots of math and stuff, and it's hosted by Matt. Oh, he's back again. By Matt Patrick, and there's also a film theory channel that he has that they're just really interesting, almost conspiracy theory almost. They're just all about theory and for movies and video games. And so they do a Twitch stream probably once a week, and this was kind of on that, and they were doing a competition against him and his wife, Stephanie. They were doing a competition against each other. They each had picked someone from the audience to help out. And they were doing a gift wrapping competition. And I really didn't know what to expect when I went over there. But yeah, that's what was happening when I went over there. They were doing a gift wrapping competition. And then they ended up doing a few other competitions. And that was pretty much the gist of the panel. But it was a lot of fun. Not really indicative of what their channel is or anything, but it was a good time. So next up was the panel that I was expecting to hear the most screaming at, and that was for Jacksepticeye. So my top 3 most viewed videos on this channel are the Sphero R2D2 review and unboxing. Then there is Markiplier making his entrance at one of the VidCons, I can't remember which one. And then there is Markiplier making his entrance at the following VidCon. I can't remember which one. So Jacksepticeye is kind of like the Markiplier 2.0, if you will. Markiplier became hugely popular like 8 years ago. He's a video game YouTuber, and he would release 2 videos every day of playing different video games, and he has over 10 million subscribers, and he's just hugely popular. And shortly after he started, there was another YouTuber started named Jacksepticeye, who is a guy that lives in Ireland. He's an Irish YouTuber, and he was kind of the same. He just like the Irish version of Markiplier. And over the years, they've become really good friends, and in fact, they have a clothing company together now. And so he's just hugely popular. So I was totally expecting when he came out that there was just going to be pandemonium, but it ended up not being as crazy as I thought it was going to be. I don't know if it's because people don't really stay super popular for as long anymore, or if like he's on the down. I don't really hear much about Markiplier and Jacksepticeye that much these days as it is, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was it. But I mean, yeah, the area where this panel was happening was packed. Like, there was every seat was taken up and there were people standing, so they were smart enough to not do it in a room like they did with Grace Helbig and Hannah Hart and Mamrie Hart. Not that I'm still bitter about that, but it sounds like I am. And so yeah, this was just another Q&A situation. People tweet at, I believe it was Jacksepticeye Q&A VidCon 2019 or something like that. And so it was just really good. Jacksepticeye has always struck me as a genuinely nice person, just a really good dude. Him and Markiplier, they both raise so much money for charity. They'll do charity live streams all the time, and they're both just so like super charismatic, and I think they could be big stars outside of YouTube if they really wanted to. So next up, there was actually 2 panels that I wanted to go to that were happening at the same time, but I was getting kind of tired at that point. I mean, sadly, it was only 3:30 by that point, but I was like, I'm getting kind of hungry, and I'm getting kind of tired, and I need to go home and edit the video to go up tomorrow, which was last week's video, because this was on Friday, and I couldn't edit it at all on Saturday, so I was like, well, I guess I'm done for the day. So that was the end of day 2 for VidCon. Now you'll notice that in this video I did a lot of extra padding and stuff, really getting into detail about each of the people this time, and that's because I wanted this video to be long enough that I didn't have room to try and put day 3 in it as well. And also all the crazy shenanigans with Buddy. All the Buddy shenanigans. Yeah. Buddy shenanigans. And the reason for that is because day 3, I have a lot for day 3. So day 3 is going to be really quite long, and if I had to tack day 2 on top of day 3, that video, well, we'll actually see how long. We'll see how long it would have ended up being, because when I get done with day 3, then I'll just tack on how long day 2 is. I'll subtract a little bit from it because of the padding and all that I've thrown in, and we'll see that it would probably be a super long video. So anyway, that was day 2 of VidCon 2019. I guess let me know in the comments down below, did you go to VidCon at all? Who did you meet? Who did you see? Who were you excited to see? If you didn't say anything, well, no one said anything last week, so, or if you're not going to say anything next week, go ahead and let me know. You just comment on VidCon. if you didn't go to VidCon, did you see the billboards for VidCon? There were a lot of billboards for VidCon this year that I'd never really seen a lot of billboards for VidCon. That's mainly because a lot of the billboards that I pass on the way to work now are electronic billboards, so those are probably a lot cheaper, so they can afford those. Well, actually, those are probably owned by Viacom, because I believe Viacom owns a lot of billboards, and Viacom now owns VidCon, so they probably didn't have to pay anything for those, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, that's not here or there. So, yeah, did you... anything? Feel free to comment anything. I don't care. Whatever. Just no horribly racist stuff. Because I'll delete you, and I'll block you. Because that's how it works. And while you're down there, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. Link is in the description. And with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.